Welcome to Catalyst Conversations, the podcast where we spark powerful change in women's wealth. I'm Hadriana Leo, a wealth coach, counselor, and strategist, and each week we dive into the conversations, strategies, and stories that help women confidently create the life they've always dreamed of. So grab your favorite bevy, settle in, and let's get started on transforming your relationship with money. This is Catalyst Conversations, igniting change in women's wealth. Let's spark the conversation. Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Catalyst Conversations, and it's time for my 2 cents. My goodness, listen. Okay, question for you. What does a good girl do? And if you're listening to this in audio format, I just put good girl in air quotes. So, yeah, what does a good girl do? You tell me, because I'm sure that you've been told that you need to be a good girl. Help me, somebody, because this good girl thing is just messed us up on so many levels. But I'm just going to talk about the money situation right now, because we have been conditioned to fail when it comes to our wealth, when it comes to our money, and all kinds of other social stuff. But I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm going to talk what I know. I'm going to speak about what's within my professional capacity to speak about, and I'll leave the rest for some other people to do. What does a good girl do? Well, apparently, society has said that the good girl is helpful, she doesn't make a fuss, she's seen and not heard, she's always grateful for all of her blessings, she waits her turn, and she does not put herself first, she always puts others first, and dot dot dot. My God, you know what? This good girl business is probably a big, huge, ginormous part of why many of us as women struggle financially. Just take it in for a minute. Just think about that good girl conditioning and what it has cost you as a woman in the world. I'm a lover, not a fighter, so I'm not very activistic, but every now and then it really just grates on me. Well, to be honest, more nows than thens, because in 2025, we're still having these conversations about how women are constantly being limited in the world just because we came out of the womb with what is traditionally seen as female genitalia. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, if any of you guys are on, this good girl conditioning is costing us money. And I think it's time for us to get past it, and certainly to make some waves. And I think it's time for us to be some bad girls. But wait, we'll wait for that. Okay, first things first. What does that good girl conditioning look and sound like, and what are the results? First things first. When they tell you don't make a fuss leads to you taking only what's given and not negotiating. You don't negotiate your salary. You're not asking for anything other than what's handed to you, because guess what? I don't want to make a fuss. We avoid confrontation because we're told that's what we're supposed to be. We're looking at things. And the interesting thing with that is we talk about it, but we don't talk about it to the people that would actually do something or move the needle. We know we should be getting paid more, but we talk about it to our girlfriend or a colleague at the same level as us. But we're not talking to HR about it. We're not having that conversation with the hiring managers and saying to them, well, I am more qualified than the dude around the corner, and I've done more work. I have taken on more responsibility, and I've had better outcomes. Why am I not being paid at par or even above the level of these other people that are being better compensated? We don't want to make a fuss. And unfortunately for us, we get left behind. What about we always have to be the peacemakers? Mm-mm. We're not avoiding money conversations, and we're not going for peace. And again, I'm doing peace in air quotes, because when we are not at peace, nothing around us is at peace. When we sacrifice our peace so that other people are comfortable, then we're not at peace. So, what is this peace that we're supposed to be peacemakers? We're peacemakers at the expense of our peace. How does that work? Being that peacemaker, it just leads to avoiding conversations that need to be had, whether it's with your spouse, with your coworker, it causes misalignment and it causes resentment. What about the need that we have to put others first? What everybody else needs comes first, and what you need comes way, 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 way back somewhere, if it ever gets to be seen, heard, or acknowledged. Well, putting others' needs first, and that's a very Christian thing to do. But I want to remind everyone here that you're supposed to love your neighbor as yourself, on par, not better than, not ahead of, but on par as yourself. In fact, it dawned on me the other day. I was like, sometimes I've got two daughters, and I sometimes think about what counsel I'll give them when they're ready to choose a partner for life. And I thought to myself, one thing I would definitely say to them is look for someone who loves themselves. Look for evidence that that person loves themselves, because that is how you're going to see what it's going to be like when the two become one. Because if they don't love themselves, they cannot love you. When you become a part of them, then they're going to love you to the extent that they love themselves. And yeah, that just doesn't work. Anyways, that's a whole other conversation. But when you put others' needs first, it actually leads to funding everyone else's dreams while your own dream dies a bitter, sad death. And your retirement, your income goals, your travel goals, all of the things that you dreamt of, that you work hard for, they get neglected, and sometimes they never come to pass. And then another one, oh my goodness, be grateful for what you have. The good girl is always grateful for what she has. Well, it's kind of twisted, because it becomes an excuse to put a lid on your ambition. Yes, you can love and appreciate and be grateful for what you have, and still aspire for better, and still aspire for more. In fact, I like to say that every dream that you have has been put inside you as a mechanism to help you fulfill your purpose. So being one of those that settles for, just this is what I have and I'm grateful. I just want 5 fingers and 10 fingers and 10 toes. I just want to be healthy. Oh, please, whatever. You have a dream. You've been fueled with a dream. And that dream was put in there for a reason. It was put in there to give you a reason to go out there, get things done, make some moves, trouble the waters, impact the world around you. And yet here you are sitting. I'm just so grateful. Right. Okay. It's time for a reframe, guys. We need to redefine what a good woman is with money. You're grown up now. The good girl thing, we can put it aside, because now we're big grown women. It's time for us to be good women with our money. Being a good woman with money, it's not about being quiet. It's about being courageous. It's about doing some brave things, guys. Some brave things that maybe you're shaking in your boots, but you're doing it all the same. That good woman actually provides for her future. Guys, when we are well, everyone around us is well. When we are whole, We get to impact the wholeness of those around us. You have the resources to make an impact when you provide for your future self. That means you're saving for yourself, setting money aside, and you're not taking all of your hard earned money rescuing that other person who is just messing about. Set those boundaries, put them in place so that you are well. And when you're well, you can help others to be well also. That also requires that you make a fuss when you need to. Have those awkward conversations. I am, please, begging you, have the awkward conversations where you ask for the raise. Let them answer you. Let them give you a reason why you cannot get the raise. And the reason they give you, you deal with that reason, because the reason might be genuine. Maybe you need to up your game. Maybe you need to show some more oomph in the workplace. But if the reason is nonsense, well, you know what you're doing. You're moving on to that next opportunity that's going to reward your effort. And please prioritize your financial health. That is a revolutionary act of self care. It's not selfish. Prioritizing your financial wellness, it's not selfish. It's the thing that's actually going to move the needle for you so that you and those around you are well. So, my challenge for you, all these good girls out there, it's time for us to become some bad girls and take some bad girl money action. I wish, I tell you, I can't imagine what somebody would think if they only heard me say, let's all be bad girls. Well, we can be some bad girls taking positive money actions and letting go of all of these other good girl conditioning aspects that is just costing us money left and right. This week, I want you to do one bad girl thing with your money. I want you to break the stereotypes. I want you to have the awkward conversations. I want you to do the thing that you have been kind of afraid to do, but now you can say, you know what? I am going to do something courageous with my money for myself so that I can impact myself, my life, and the world around me in a positive way. Your wealth is waiting on you to release that conditioning. Your wealth is waiting on the other side of that conditioning. And I can't wait for you to share with me. Tell me all about the bad girl money moves that you've been making and how you are creating wealth for yourself, creating positive impact in the world around you, and living a life that is full and rich and full of wealth and wellness. Let me know. Tell me how it's going. Put it in the comments or drop me a line. I can't wait to hear. Until next time, take care. Thank you for joining me today on Catalyst Conversations. I hope this episode sparked something powerful to help on your journey to building wealth confidently and unapologetically. If you loved today's conversation, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if something resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it. Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, keep moving toward your goals, stay empowered, and continue sparking change on your wealth journey. This is Hadriana, and you've been listening to Catalyst Conversations.